Time now for Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live is a call-in radio show educating you on issues surrounding your home. Don't become a statistic. Listen in and find out how you can protect yourself. Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live. And now, here's your host, your personal comfort consultant, tackling all of your home comfort issues. Here he is, Tom Platania.
All righty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting edition of Comfort Time Live. We got a great show ahead of us this evening, so do not turn that dial. Just sit back in your chair, get your favorite drink, and we're going to mosey on down to learning something about solar energy this evening. But first, remember, you can always go to ComfortTimeLive.com and watch our show live. You can listen to us and watch us, but you can also look at any of the previous shows we've had right there in the archives on the front page. Perhaps you want to go back and listen to Angelo and Brenda on the show, or maybe Elite Electric and Air, who is our sponsor, was on the air with us, or any of our previous guests, or any topics that you might have wanted to listen to but didn't have quite a chance to watch them. So go back to ComfortTimeLive.com. Remember, you can like us on Facebook, too. This way we know you're listening, and you can always ask us if there's any specific topics like solar that you're interested in finding out about. And we've had many, many guests ask us about solar energy, and I've been striving for a very long time to find somebody that, was educated enough, but also ethical enough. And, I got one out of the two today with me. I'm not going to tell you which one. I'll let you determine what that is. But we got Larry Jennings with us this morning. Solar Man is with us here, live on the air. How you doing, Mr. Solar Man?
I'm fine. I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Awesome. And you can tell he's got that good old New York accent over there that he brought with him.
I don't have one. You got one.
That's it. All right, so we got Larry here. Now, I tell you, Larry, man, you have just absolutely, when we're talking about energy and solar, you have been in the industry for 30-some years, 40 years?
I worked for FP&L for 35.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's what happened. And now I'm showing people how to reduce their power bill.
There you go. Boy, they love you for that, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Is this kind of like getting back at them for 38 years?
That's right. I'm going to put them out of business.
That's great. Well, we're going to be talking about solar, anything to do with solar. Now, remember, you can call into the show if you have questions about your current solar panels, questions about solar energy or panels that you're looking to get, or what different types, or all kinds of questions, anything to do. You don't hesitate to give us a call right here at the studio, 772-340-1590. Give Larry a call and ask Solar Man any of the questions that you can think of. So let's get right to it. And I guess the basic question is, what is solar power, and how the heck does the sun generate electricity? I know it gives me a sunburn, but how does it generate electricity?
Well, just about everything in the world has a voltage across it. Some materials offer a little bit better voltage when there's sun shining on it, and PV crystals have a special ability to generate a DC current when sun shines on it.
Now, PV, is that what you said?
Photovoltaic.
And what is that?
Photo meaning light.
Okay.
Voltaic meaning volts.
Okay.
So it's a direct conversion from light to volts.
And so basically solar panels are taking that and converting that using that process.
Exactly. It gives a DC current, and
like a battery.
Like a battery. Yes, a solar panel is like a battery that doesn't work until there's sunlight on it.
Okay. All right. So opposite of the AC, that actually is what you plug into your walls and whatnot. DC, a direct current, is more of like a battery that you plug into put into your flashlight or your mouse or something along those lines.
Exactly. And then the DC goes into a inverter, and the inverter changes the DC to an alternating current.
Now, is it an inverter or converter?
Inverter.
Inverter. What's the difference between an inverter and a converter?
Well, inverter is spelled I-N, converter is spelled C-O-N.
Wow, I wouldn't have known that one. That was good. I like that, Larry. That is the difference. Okay, my thought process was because you're converting the DC to AC,
Well,
right?
Well, I think most people use the word converter when they're talking about charging batteries.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, so you're inverting it from a DC to an AC current.
Right.
Okay, and then that's where we take that AC current, and that's what we utilize to power whatever we need.
That's right.
Now, what is the process by understanding how much solar energy I need to convert? Is it something you go into a house and say, okay, these are the things that we can convert? What do you want to convert? And then you base the size of the solar panels on that?
Well, solar electric energy is something that's going to be injected into your electrical system.
Okay.
You know, you're going to use a grid tie system. Normally, will use electricity from the power company.
Okay.
And a PV system will try to reduce the need for that power coming in. So it's a mix. You know.
Okay. So you're not totally getting rid of the electricity generated from your electrical company.
Don't recommend it.
Right. Yeah. And we'll get to that question a little bit later
on. Okay.
And we'll get. But so what you're doing is your house, in order to run the certain appliances, your house needs so much of the electricity that's being brought into the home. So what the solar energy is doing is taking away some of our need to pull that energy from your electric company and allowing us to use some of it from the solar.
Exactly right. And if your solar system is producing more than you're using, you're going to get a credit from that if you have the right meter attached to your house.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. We're going to definitely talk about that one.
Okay.
Now, what is the most effective, or I guess you could say efficient, solar system available?
Yeah, the most efficient systems are thermal systems. They're much more efficient than PV systems. They heat water or oil or whatever it is you're trying to heat up, and there's a much better energy change with thermal systems than PV systems.
Now, if somebody were to look on the side of a house, like someone like myself would have no clue, how would I be able to tell the difference between the thermal and the PV? By looking at it, or is it what's internal of it?
The thermal systems are usually a little thicker panels.
Oh, okay.
Because they have water pipes going through them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the water gets hot, and that's how you get hot water with it. The PVs panels are a little thinner, and they have that sort of blue hue that silicon wafers have.
I understand. Yeah, I think I've seen what you saw on there.
Right.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, obviously, we just mentioned what the different types are. Which one of those? And you said the thermal one is the most efficient. Is that correct?
It is the most efficient
over the PV one.
Right.
Now, is it just because of the heat transfer of it, or that per square inch it generates more energy?
Okay, I know what you're saying. If you look at the amount of energy, the sunlight energy that is collected on your roof,
right?
There's about 1,000 watts per square meter.
Okay, 1,000 watts per square meter.
4x10 collector is about 3 kilowatts.
Okay.
So it's about 3,000 watts. To do the same thing with PV, you're going to need.
Oh, okay. And what he's showing, ladies and gentlemen, is he's actually. But I tell you, he is the most prepared co-host we've had on this show. Most people just come here and they're flipping through their iPhone or something. But man, I tell you, Solar Band has come here with. We have a picture, and we'll flip it up on the video here in a second. But what he's showing me is the difference between the thermal and the photovoltaic. Is that the PV, short for photovoltaic, you would require, what do you got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got 15 panels, basically that would be 16 foot by 14 foot wide, and you would only need one thermal panel or a thermal panel that would be about 4 foot by 10 foot, and it would do a same amount of
power.
Same amount of power. That is impressive. That is very impressive.
That's what makes it more efficient.
And it's probably that much more expensive?
Yeah, why?
No.
Yeah, you're going to pay more for PV, but
okay, because you need more panels.
But in other words, if you're going to try to conserve your roof space,
right, to
make it the most efficient, it's better to cover it with a small area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And heat your water with that, than with
so
PV.
if this is so much more efficient, and why would someone go with one versus the other?
Well, you can't run a refrigerator motor or a washing machine or anything else with hot water. You need electricity for that.
Okay. So the thermal one would be if we're like a pool or a hot water heater or
Hot
something.
water heater.
I
You take
understand.
that energy off of your electric demand.
Okay,
And it,
now I understand. Okay, so the thermal one, I was off in la la land here. So the thermal one is if we're trying to heat a specific, I guess you would say liquid.
right.
But the photovoltaic is when we're trying to actually utilize something to generate the DC voltage.
Right.
There we go. Okay.
Rotating equipment and lights.
Okay.
Lights don't work good with water. You need electricity for those two.
That makes it. Well, yeah, you definitely couldn't mix the two of those. I think some people have tried.
It won't. If you hook a conduit up to a water pipe, it won't work.
I mean, I've tried throwing the electricity in the bathtub, but the wife just catches it before
Exactly.
she won't let it in. Now, will my PV, my photovoltaic electric solar system, will that run my house if the power is interrupted in the home?
Most of them will not.
Will not.
Grid tie systems only work if the utility 60 cycle signal is on the equipment.
Okay, so even if it's generating enough electricity, let's say to power a light switch, and the power goes off, would it still will not function?
It will not function
because it has to go through there.
Exactly.
Okay, so unlike well, I guess the generator is the opposite because it kicks on after the electricity, but
Yes.
it's
Now those are basic PV systems,
Okay.
grid tie systems. You can get some that will supply you electricity, but at a much greater cost.
I can only imagine.
And the other
Everything has a cost.
Oh
to
yeah,
it. It's like it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade.
there's always a condition. The other thing you would have to have is a transfer switch to separate your power from the grid.
Okay, like a generator when the generator has transfer switch when the power shuts off. Okay.
You don't want to gin up your neighborhood with your
Okay, so
generator.
basically what that's doing is that's actually kind of using a solar. It's like a solar generator in a sense.
Right, but it's a lot of money to spend to do that just for emergency power.
Yeah, you'd be better off probably getting just a regular generator or something like that.
And flashlight.
Okay. Hey, well, 772-340-1590. We're here with Solar Man. Give us a call if you have questions about your solar power. Maybe you're thinking about getting it and you have some questions, or, well, maybe you have it and you still have some questions. You're listening to Comfort Time Live. I'm Tom Platini here on WPSL, and we will be right back.
You need electric.
We can do it.
You need electric.
There's nothing to it.
You need electric.
Ooh, amazing.
You need electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie.
Elite Electric specializes in all of your electrical needs, from security lighting to surge protection and everything in between. How do you think they got their name? Elite Electric. Elite Electric has been family owned and operated on the Treasure Coast since 1988, and they're recommended by Comfort Time Live. Visit online at eliteelectricandair.com and learn more about their services. Elite Electric. Service today. Proud sponsor of Comfort Time Live every Thursday evening at 6:05 on WPSL 1590.
No matter what you want, just pick up your phone, say, come on, Elite.
And we'll get the job done.
We can do it.
You need electric.
There's nothing to it.
You need electric.
No one expects disaster to happen to them, but when it does, you can be sure United Water Restoration will be there when you need them the most. They've been helping people put their homes and their lives back together for more than 15 years. With 24/7 service and 45 minutes to your door response time, you can trust United Water Restoration with your mold, water, fire, and smoke damage. Call for a free in-home inspection and estimate at 888-535-4909. United Water Restoration.
With the rising cost of electricity, homeowners need a better way, a more cost-effective way to get their electricity. Join Tom Platania and Comfort Time Live Thursday, August 22nd, as he welcomes Larry Jennings as
Solar Man.
Solar Man has all the answers to educate and help you reduce your electricity costs. You may even get rebates from the government. Don't forget, Comfort Time Live Thursday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. with Solar Man on WPSL 1590.
Oh, we had to play that promo again. Welcome back to Comfort Time Live. Look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's Solar Man. And he's a guest on tonight's show. Once again, here's your host, Tom Platania.
I want to know where your cape is.
Now,
I know you have one.
I left it in the car. I didn't
He
bring
can't
it in.
reveal that till he finds a phone booth.
Yeah. No, I used to fly a lot, but my arms got really tired.
Oh, 772-340-1590. You have questions, comments, suggestions, you want to ask Larry something. I think there's probably not too many questions this man can't not answer when it comes to electricity and solar power. And nice little joke that he brought in here to the studio. A dumb question is the one you didn't ask.
Ooh.
So make sure you call us at 340-1590. However, Larry can explain it to you, but the understanding part, well, that's up to you. That was a good one. I like that. That's a Dennis the Menace there by Hank Ketchum. That's good. It's good stuff. I like that one. So all kinds of websites and reference points, and we'll try to get those posted on Comfort Time Live for you if you have any questions. Now, you can give Larry a call directly, and I got your number right here, Larry. If you want to give Larry a call, grab a pen and paper. We're going to mention this number a couple times throughout the show. If you want to call him directly and you want to find out, now, do you offer free estimates to come out or free consultation? Or
It doesn't cost a thing just to find out how much it's going to cost you.
Okay, and you would come out to someone's home, or you refer them to somebody, or do you do that yourself?
Yeah, I do that myself.
Oh, okay.
I like to Google their roof, see what their roof looks like, which way it's facing.
Okay.
And then I can look and see what type of roof they've got when I visit there. And then if it's a water heater, solar water heating, I want to see where the hot water is and how far it's going to take to pipe over to it from the collector. All
right, so grab your pen and paper. We're going to go ahead and give you this number. Now, this is not the number to the studio. This is the direct number to Solar Man, Larry Jennings, 561-248-2106. That's 561-248-2106. And you can give Larry a call and ask him any question, have him maybe come out to your house and give you an estimate on what it would cost. And we're going to talk about the rebates and stuff here in a minute, but we're going to go to Mike in Port St. Lucie on the phone. Mike, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good. I'm doing great. I've heard about Larry Jennings, Solar Man, and now that I've gotten to see him on Ustream, he rocks.
Yeah, we definitely had to broaden the camera a little bit for Larry to be in the studio today, but we got everything set up.
well, just tell him that Mike and George said they'll see him at breakfast in the morning.
No problem. Well, he hears you. Go ahead, talk to him, Larry.
The bill is on him.
You might find your pancakes in a special place.
You guys are trip. I'll let you go. Get back to your serious work.
There you go. All right, Mike. Thanks for calling in. All right, great. 772-340-1590, the number to call. Questions, comments, or hey, if you're just like Mike and you want to tell Solar Man how great he is, hey, go ahead and pick up the phone and give us a call. We have no problem with that. And then once again, Larry's direct line to him. Now, he prefers that you call only between the hours of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning. That's the best time to get in touch with him, right, Larry?
That's when I'm least busy.
Yeah, that's usually least busy. I figured that. Okay. It's 561-248-2106. It's Larry's number. Now, can I have a solar hot water when the power's out?
Yes, you can.
Well, wait a minute. You just said that if the power's interrupted, I can't have any power, but yet I could still have hot water when the power's interrupted.
When the power's out, you can't have PV power.
Aha, but I can have the thermal power.
You can have thermal power. It still works.
Now, can I send the ex-wife up on top of the roof to blow on the panel to create heat, or that doesn't work that way?
I wouldn't try that one.
No?
No, that could be an insurance problem there.
That's right. I like her too much to do that to her anyway.
Right.
So I can have solar hot water. Now, obviously the size of the tank will determine how many solar panels we need, or it doesn't really matter.
Exactly right. If you've got a large tank, you need more solar collection. It's a matchup. You have to match the right panel to the right size tank.
To the right size tank. Okay,
Yeah.
so difference between a 40, 60, 80, 90 or something like that
We have
tank.
66, 80, and 120.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to phones. We got Mark on the line. Mark, welcome to Comfort Time Live and Solar Man.
Thank you.
How we doing?
Doing good.
What question do we have for Larry?
Okay, when you're talking about no PV when the power is out, can if I do have a backup generator, would still be able to use the PV to help reduce the size of the generator that I need?
That's a good question.
That's
an excellent question.
That's a very good question. It takes a special inverter, and it can be done, but you need to make sure that the contractor you're using can provide you with that kind of equipment. It takes a little special design, but it can be done.
Okay, very good.
Excellent. And if you want to give him a call or speak directly, now is that something that you would be able to factor in, or he would have to talk to the contractor directly for the generator?
Some contractors can do things like that. Some may have some problems with it, but you want to make sure that the contractor you're using can provide you with that kind of a system.
Well, Mark, you definitely are. Our sponsor, Elite Electric and Air, they specialize in generators as well, and they may know and be able to offer you assistance in that. So when you hear the commercial and their phone number, you go ahead and jot that number down and give Elite Electric and Air a call. They can help you out with that.
Okay, well.
Hey, great. Thanks a lot, Mark. And we're going to go to Jack. We got Jack on the line. Jack, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Man, I tell you, if I was doing any better, I think I was twins. There'd be some ugly twins, though, but hey, you know, it's life. So question for Mr. Solar Man, Larry Jennings.
Yes, the question I have for Solar Man is I live in a community with a homeowners association, and I wanted to find out if there are any laws preventing homeowner association laws that would prevent me from being able to put solar panels on my roof.
Florida law is very good to people that want to do that with homeowner associations. The homeowner association cannot prevent you from putting a renewable energy system on your home. It is important that you let them know about it through their permit system, that this is what you're going to do. They might offer some special conditions for that, but it is against Florida law to prohibit renewable energy from being installed on your home.
Now, if the grass grows 3.26 inches and it's only supposed to be 3 inches, well, then they can make you get rid of that.
Well, that's their problem because they send people out to cut the grass for me.
Oh, well, there you go then.
You just can't paint your outside doors and windows a different color than all your neighbors.
That part's true.
And don't fly a flag.
That's true.
Yeah, the only other addendum I could add to that is that a lot of them want to paint the solar collectors a different color. If you do that, it won't work. So that's out too.
Okay, so by law, and that's probably something we should get for folks if anybody's interested, is that by law they are not, and there's a lot of things by law, but it's a matter of, you know, if you already know that it may be a possible issue, I would recommend getting everything put together first, getting the codes and the regulations together first.
Yeah, you want to let them know what you're doing.
Yeah, to present that to them instead of having put them up on the roof and then having Georgina, who's you know, been on the board for 26 years and walks around with her notepad checking everybody's house.
Yeah, you don't want condo commandos mad at you.
Now, that's an excellent question because we do have quite a few of those here in South Florida. Because believe it or not, we have 1 or 2 retirees down here, or 1 or 2 communities around here with HOAs.
I haven't seen many of them. I don't know. Where did you see those?
Yeah, I was driving by real quick. You know, kind of out by the cow pastures and stuff.
I've seen a lot of them. They like to make a decision to go get their medicine right during rush hour.
Hey, Jack, well, I really appreciate you calling the show, and that's an excellent question, and we're going to hopefully get that'll be good for some of the other folks out there that might be considering that. You know, I really haven't seen many solar panels in communities with HOAs, though. A lot of the solar ones I've seen are out in just non-community related. Maybe it's just because I don't go into the communities.
They're afraid to do it. You know, no guts, no glory, man. You gotta really
push the envelope.
That's right.
I don't do that. I never push the envelope. I don't get cease and desist orders here through radio.
I think there's a general belief that the homeowner association wouldn't allow them to change their roof, but they can't stop them. You know,
Yeah. No, that's funny. Well, great question, Jack, and it's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
You're welcome. Appreciate you listening to the show. And hey, like us on Facebook. All right. So now, obviously, solar's not inexpensive in the upfront.
You know, cost is relative. You know, people who have a lot of money don't find it costly. People that don't have any money, of course, there's loans available. You know, you can get loans for renewable equipment for your home.
And there's also, I know the government actually offers some really nice rebates too.
Yes,
right?
they do. Glad you mentioned that one. FPL will give you $1,000 for a solar thermal system.
How much?
1,000.
1,000.
Yep.
Okay, and now obviously there's a huge range of cost.
Yeah. 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 It depends on how big it is. And then the federal government will give you 30% of the installed cost as a tax credit.
Tax credit.
Tax credit.
Wow.
The IRS form 5695.
That's the same form for the if
For
you're
all
buying a
the-
new air conditioning
That's
system.
exactly right.
Yeah, same exact form. We talk about that all the time.
Any system that will save energy, and then business 3468.
Okay, now I mean we could be looking at what 20-30,000 before rebates and all that other stuff.
30%, man. That's a lot of money. If you
Yeah,
go to
but, no, but I mean like the cost of the system. I mean somebody could be looking at before any rebates or anything like that.
Right.
For an average size 2,000, 3,000 square foot house, what were we looking at? Like $20,000 or $30,000.
It could go that high.
Go ahead, depending on what you want,
and
obviously.
then 30% of that taken off of your
that's a chunk of change.
tax credit.
Yeah, tax credit, and most of us, we're either just barely breaking even, or we only maybe owe a couple $100, or we're getting 1,000 back, or, I mean, so that really 30% of that, I mean, that's a chunk of change.
It is, and I think the initial outlay is where the stumbling block comes along, and then if you can get a loan for that,
right,
and then use your other mechanisms, the 1,000 from FP&L, the 30% tax credit, that would help you to pay off that loan.
Yeah, absolutely, because you get that, say $30,000, $9,000 back that you're getting on your credit plus $1,000. That's $10,000. If you get some, minor payments, I mean, you could make 3-4 years worth of payments on that without a penny out of your pocket.
Well, now don't forget, now you're saving money on your power bill too.
Exactly. I put together when I was years ago when I worked as a manufacturer's rep. I put a whole entire program together for dealers for air conditioning. And with financing, with the tax credit, the $1,500 tax credit, with the FPL rebates, we were actually showing people how they could go for almost 3 years without pulling one penny out of their pocket. And basically same concept. I mean, you're making money back on the energy efficiency that you're saving. You got all the rebates, and if you fictitiously put all that money into a mock account, offshore Colombian account or something along those lines. I don't know anything about that stuff, but a different show. I mean, then each month when you're making the payment on that loan, you're just pulling that money out.
And once you've recovered the cost for it, the rest of the time you're saving money from your power bill.
Yeah, and it
just continues.
And it's and I think FPL. I just heard are they getting ready to try to ask for another increase or something? Somebody was saying that.
Yeah, I was trying to get them to increase their rates a little bit more so that more people would want
solar. They actually, we had them on the show. One of my very first shows, almost 5 years ago. We had them on, and right after the show, they invited me to go speak down in West Palm Beach when this is 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, when they were trying to get the increase then. And I guess they would just want character witnesses and stuff like that.
How do you convince somebody to agree to have your power bill increased?
Well, there's two sides to the coin on that, and it was funny because obviously you have all those people sitting there who are completely against it, and and most of them are your vegetarians and your your people that only there to stir things up. And the one question I would ask people with any of these processes, any of these things, solar power, is if there's rebates and there's things being presented to you, like with Florida Power and Light, they offer a duct seal program that saves It saves a ton of money for $30. They offer different home sealing and home inspection programs. They offer on-call programs. They offer rebates. And if you're not utilizing any of those and you're complaining about an increase, and I went up there and I had a quarter and I set the quarter on top of the podium when I walked up there, and I was like, 25 cents. That's less than 25 cents a day, a month that they're asking for, or a day or whatever it was, for these people. But yet none of you people that are sitting here flapping your gums use any of the programs that FPL offers. So, but there's two sides to the coin. Also, I think they got the lowest rates too. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah. A different topic. So we talked about the tax break and we talked about the rebate. Now, the government gives you a tax credit. The rebate is from FPL. Are there any other that you know of, specific manufacturer rebates that'll come with that? Like, with air conditioning, they offer rebates certain times of the year.
Every once in a while, the manufacturers will offer a coupon for savings. I think our solar pool heaters, for a while, we had a $200 rebate or coupon for that.
Now, can you have one thermal solar system that would do your hot water and heat your pool, or are they two separate?
There's two separate systems, and they should not be mixed.
They should not. So you would have to have one just for the hot water, and then you would have to have a completely different solar one, still thermal, right?
That would be my recommendation.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you can find others that would recommend something else.
Well, there's a lot of unlicensed and unethical people out there that'll recommend.
Yeah. Pool water is very corrosive.
Oh, that's right, because of the chlorine.
And most of the hot water systems are copper pipes, so you don't want to run pool water through copper pipes.
Okay, once again, that's because the water that we're actually running through the thermal for the water heater is actually the water that's coming out of the faucet.
It's potable water. That's the water you drink.
That's why.
That's the healthy water.
Okay, that's
in most cases.
In most cases, unless it's something close by Lake Okeechobee that's coming out.
Yeah, if it's river water, you're hurting.
Have you been out there in the water?
No.
Oh my God! I still take my boat out on the weekends. I just don't go in the water. But nasty. I went out 2 weekends ago. I went and parked out over by the sandbar, and believe it or not, there was people sitting in the water in their lawn chairs. And I'm looking at the boat thinking, okay, maybe they're just out-of-towners. But it looked like it was a local fishing boat. And I was just astounded. But it smelled bad. It was nasty. Last weekend we went down to Jupiter and went down that way. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Now, loans available. Are there specific? Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and take another quick a break here before we get into some of the other things. You're listening to Larry Jennings here on Cover Time Live. Solar Man, questions about solar energy. If you have solar panels, you want to heat your hot water more efficiently, give us a call here at the studio. 772-340-1590. Cover Time Live. We'll be right back.
With the rising cost of electricity, homeowners need a better way, a more cost-effective way to get their electricity. Join Tom Platania and Comfort Time Live Thursday, August 22nd, as he welcomes Larry Jennings as
Solar Man.
Solar Man has all the answers to educate and help you reduce your electricity costs. You may even get rebates from the government. Don't forget, Comfort Time Live Thursday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. with Solar Man on WPSL 1590. Known for helping you keep that spark, now they'll help you keep cool. Elite Electric and Air, the official air conditioning sponsor of Comfort Time Live, has provided the best in heating and cooling customer service since 1988. If your electric bill is costing you more than 12 cents per square foot under air, you may be overpaying the utility company. Elite Electric and Air can help put that cash back in your pocket. Call Elite Electric and Air with 24-hour service. Dial 340-3797. That's 340-3797.
The Sunshine State can sometimes get wet and windy fast. United Water Restoration Group is here to help. As one of the largest water damage restoration companies covering the state of Florida, their team of highly trained water, fire, and mold remediation experts are here to help, arriving at your house within 45 minutes of your call, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you have a leak, mold, fire, or home damage issue, call for a free in-home inspection and estimate. 888-535-4909. Who wouldn't like a paycheck from their power company? It's possible. Stay tuned. The information is at hand. You're listening to Comfort Time Live. Once again, here's Solar Man and Tom Platania.
All right, welcome back. Hopefully you're still either sipping on that drink or you've gone to the kitchen and you've refreshed it. Have a little sip for me, a little vodka cranberry I'll enjoy. That's good. So we're here with Larry Jennings, Solar Man on Comfort Time Live, and we're talking about solar energy and what can we do to help save energy, the ever-rising costs of our utility company, as Mr. Cliff Desmond here can attest to that with his wonderful Fort Pierce.
Well, you know, it was a while back when that happened, but I had.
And it went down tremendously, you said.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I've done something that's increased my electrical use, and it's gone up $50 in the last month because of something that I installed.
Oh, his electric bill was insane a few years ago. I mean, insane.
Yeah. Well, you know, what happens is when your bill is like $600, you'd think there's something wrong, but it was 2 months in a row.
Yeah, no, if it's, what we talk about is if it's more than 10 to 12 cents per square foot, depending on what you have in your house, you're overpaying the utility company. Is that kind of a common, or is that kind of a thing that you've heard? If you have more than 10 to 12 cents per square foot in your house of electricity usage during the peak, you're paying too much?
If you're running a proton accelerator, you're probably going to be paying a lot for that. You know, I don't know what you would have in there that would generate $600 a month. But,
yeah, no, he was he was paying huge. Well, for energy efficiency, what we promote on the show is if somebody, just a generalization, to look at your electric bill just in general, and if your electric bill is more than 10 to 12 cents per square foot of your home, so if you have a 2,000 square foot house and you're paying more than $220 a month, you are overpaying the utility company.
Well, you may have some issues with your air conditioning.
Yeah.
I know teenagers generate a lot of energy use when they're unaware of how much they're using.
Yeah, with the I mean, that's kind of like me with the iPad, the iPhone, you know.
Well, not just that. There's a lot of other things in there too. You know that like leaving doors open.
That's true. That is true. That is true. Now, speaking of air conditioning, air conditioning is actually one of the highest energy consumptions in the home, obviously when it's running. According to FPL, we're looking at about 59% of our total energy usage is our air conditioning system. Can I install, or can someone install, a solar system large enough to run the air conditioning system?
That's usually very unlikely. There's limiting factors. First of all, the ability to pay for a system that big, and the other one is the availability of the roof facing the sun.
Okay.
So your roof is probably not large enough to start with.
Okay.
But if you were to cover all of some people might find that cost prohibitive.
So if I was to build a house with only a one-sided roof, and I was to position it,
that would be very good.
What do they call them? What do they call them? Shed roofs.
Yeah, and if your house faced north, so that people don't want to show it to the road for some reason. I think they're beautiful, but some people don't like them facing the road. So the backyard faces the south, and of course now when you don't have gabled roofs, you're going to pay more for insurance too. So
that's true. Yeah. So where you might be paying extra for the insurance, you're going to make it up on that.
Right.
So now we're talking about, speaking of pitches and roofs and sides and stuff like that. You actually have, once again, this man is incredible with his documentation here. And I tell you, I would actually love to get some of this stuff, because I really think that I want to create a page on Comfort Time Live for solar energy. I actually have a whole entire page for Chinese drywall.
Well, I'll be glad to help you with that.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that. And I got some web guys and some other social media guys helping me out, and I would love to do, because I tell you, being in Sunshine State, what better thing to have than have a whole page on Cover Time Live dedicated to solar power, solar energy. And I tell you, some of these, like this one here, talks about the roof pitch. And well, Larry, you're the brains. You go ahead and tell us. What's the best roof?
Well,
And
just as a for instance, Port St. Lucie is at latitude 27.3.
okay,
And if you have a roof that's about 12.6, I think most builders understand the pitch of a roof. That is ideal. It's a 27-degree inclination.
Okay.
That faces south. That's the best.
South is the best direction.
South is the best direction, right?
Okay.
And of course, it's not a lot of difference if you got a 12.5 or something, off a little bit. That's okay, but the most accurate, best inclination is 12.6 pitch.
12.6. Yeah, and a lot of the plans that I look at when I'm doing load and energy calculations, a majority of them are between 12.4 and 12.6 anyway.
Right.
So pretty standard.
Yeah.
So if you're considering building a house and you're considering using solar, and you definitely probably want to give Larry a call, Solarman a call here, and ask him what's going to be the best direction. And you could probably, if I know what I'm looking to accomplish with the solar and I'm building my house, we could probably also consider how much roof space we want to use and give that to the architects and engineers ahead of time.
There are some architects that you might call them green architects. There's also builders that are green builders. Those guys are very much aware of the issues, and they can design a home that would best suit for a solar system.
Excellent, excellent. I actually have not come across one of those yet. I'm looking forward to it.
I know several of them.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming across a couple of those when I do the load and energy calcs. But I tell you, they are doing a lot of things nowadays for energy efficiency, which between the amount of insulation values on windows and the insulation values in attics. I mean, I had a builder call me up the other day, and I did a load and an energy calc for him, and the house was just under 2,000 square foot, and it came out to a 3-ton air conditioning system. And most people would tell me I'm insane. 400 to 500 square foot per ton is what it should be, and that should be a 4 or 5-ton unit all day long. But he had these double pane, low E, thermal insulated windows. He had R38 in the attic. And, I mean, I even questioned it, but I double checked all my numbers. And when he called me back, he said, Tom, I want to thank you. I'm like, for what? You're the first person who's done a load calc for me that did it right, did it true. He said, because all these other guys, they keep coming back to me going, well, it came out a little low, so I bumped it up. And you know what? The program's smarter than you are. Use it.
An oversized air conditioner will cause you a lot of trouble.
Oh my gosh, the mold, the mildew, the overpaying the utility company, and you decrease the longevity of the systems because they're stopping and starting.
Right.
I mean, that's why a car that runs highway miles, you see these cars out there 300,000-400,000 miles.
Yeah, you want to replace the air in your house whenever you're doing when your air conditioner cycles on.
Yeah. You
want to make sure that all the air in your house is cycled at least 1 or 2 times to make sure all the moisture's out.
Good, and I'm really pleased. I know a lot of people will be mad at me for saying this, but I'm really pleased that the codes require load calculations to be done on replacement homes now. But the problem is the manipulation of these things. These air conditioning contractors they're just putting in what's in, and then sending the load calcs over, going, this is what it needs to be, make it work.
If people chose their AC contractors like they picked out the apples at the grocery store,
oh my gosh,
it might work out better. You know?
But most of us know what a better looking apple is than a better looking contractor.
Right.
But it's amazing, and I see somewhere I'll question back to the contractor. I'll be like, you need to relook at this house. There's no way this house is a 5-ton system. I've run it through I've run it through my program 6 times. I've checked and double checked and triple checked everything. This is not a 5-ton system. But a lot of these contractors, they do it because it's going through the motions. And the problem is that the building departments don't have the manpower. Some of them don't have the the people who are checking the original permits don't have the mindset, or not the mindset, but don't have the knowledge to check them, and then they don't have the manpower to send them through. But energy savings is huge, and it's amazing how much less we could pay each month just by doing little things.
Exactly right.
And then going into a solar system like this, I mean, if we're doing all the other things properly, I mean, just imagine where you could, I mean, you could be using so little energy and generating so much. You said you've actually heard, you've never seen, but you've heard of houses that have actually ended up getting a credit.
Yeah, what happens is you have to have a net meter, first of all. FPL approves your net metering and has that equipment installed. If you're due money at the end of a month, it'll collect over a year.
Okay.
So you might go over 1 month and under 1 month.
I see.
And then after a year, if they owe you money, they'll send you a check. That as far as I know, I haven't seen that happen. I've heard of it happening.
You heard of it, yeah.
But I've never actually seen that. That's probably very rare.
Well, and I guess if you planned ahead for it, you could make it happen by putting the most energy efficient things in the home, and then having a large enough solar system that was generating a large amount, but you're so energy efficient with all the windows, and I mean, building a house. I mean, frame houses get better R value than block houses. You know, you put a 2x6 wall with an R19, with R38 in the attic, with double pane low. I mean,
they call them net zero houses, and it is possible, but it's a hard nut to crack.
Yeah, it is, and it's expensive.
Yep.
It would be very expensive to do something like that, but you really have to plan
Exactly
ahead.
right.
And have the right people to get involved in that. So now loans. Are there specific companies that focus on loans for solar systems?
Yes. A lot of the solar contractors have a loan program in place that I mean there's some that you can they call it same as cash. You can if you pay off the loan in a year, you don't pay any interest.
Oh, okay.
And then there's some that you can if you pay interest for a certain interest for a certain period of time, and then after that you're not paying interest. You're just paying
Right.
on the principal. There's also an organization locally that's made a lot of statewide recognition for their loan program.
Yeah, I think is it
The
Clean
Energy Loan Program with
Solar Energy Loan Fund?
Solar Energy Loan
we had them on the show.
Yeah.
We had them on the show.
They offer a program to also provide loans just for energy efficient, and not just for solar systems, for any energy efficient.
Yeah, they're called I think it's called SELF, right?
Right.
Yeah, Solar Energy Loan Fund.
Not too far from here.
Yeah, actually, we had them on the show. We talked, and they send somebody out to the house, I believe, at no cost. They do a complete energy efficiency evaluation of the home.
That is the best part of the deal. Those energy audits cost a lot of money, and they're getting it for very little. I mean, like $25 for.
Yeah, they're just like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And then I think the loans they were talking about were like 4% or just some insane.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah, some insane amount, obviously based on credit.
The very first loan that they gave was an air conditioner replacement.
Oh wow! Just for the air conditioner.
Just for the air conditioner.
There you go. And you know who that was? Were you involved in that?
I saw them.
Oh, the marketing for it.
Yeah, it was kind of like a first
yeah.
dollar.
Oh, absolutely.
First
yeah.
dollar,
Yeah, that was amazing that they're doing that. I mean, and I tell you, those guys really put a lot of effort into that, into doing that. So that's great. Just like you, I mean, you've really. 40 years of just being involved in energy and solar and whatnot, and being able to come on the show with the knowledge you have. I can just imagine what's in 38 some years of being with FPL. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen that you can say on the air? And I know I caught you off guard on this one. It wasn't part of our list, but
I have so many of those. Well, I guess the craziest things I see are a lot of customers with FP&L
right.
complain about their electric service, and a lot of it is their own problem. It's not FPL.
Right.
It's theirs.
It's theirs.
So a lot of the power quality investigations that I was involved in, sometimes it just takes a little education, and we don't always find exactly what they're actually complaining about, but at least at least we've beaten it to death.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's intermittent. It only happens when you leave. The second you step back onto the property, it
Right.
goes away. It happens at every 15 seconds on the hour, and
one of the most phenomenal things I actually watched was waterlogged water pumps.
Waterlogged water pumps.
The air bladder gone in the tank.
Ah.
It makes the motor makes the motor crank on and off multiple times, and it drives your lights crazy. And bad neutrals. Bad neutrals is a bad thing.
And I tell you, and a lot of it we talk about with surge. I mean, just we had a lead electric on here, and they were talking about just wires with the expansion and contraction of hot and cold, and the wires getting loose and whatnot. And people
That's
not
a very
tightening.
dangerous situation. You burn your house down with a bad neutral.
Absolutely.
You got one.
And Lead Electric actually offers inspections for that to come on out there and make sure that they're tight, that they're not, they haven't gotten a lot of arcing and sparking from over the years of being loose. You really need to have that happen because, as Larry said, it'll happen to you and you'll least expect it. And then you'll be screaming at somebody else that it's their fault, not yours.
If somebody's got a problem like that, I also offer a little free advice on bad neutrals, too. So.
Hey, what's that?
Fix it.
Free advice.
You got to find it.
You heard it right here on Cover Time Live. Free advice. Fix it. From Solar
It's
Man.
not bad advice.
It's not bad advice at
Well,
all.
they say if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, obviously there's something that needs fixing.
Hey, wait, but just because you don't know it's broke doesn't
That's
mean
right.
it doesn't need to be fixed.
If it's electrical that's going wrong in their house, they think FPL's doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a particularly big fan of FPL, but, it's
And that's coming from a man who worked for him for 38 years.
Yeah. it's most of the bad neutrals I've seen are inside the house.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the homeowner, not FPL. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, well, don't forget you can give Larry Jennings, Solar Man, a phone call directly if you have questions or comments for him. You give him a call at 561-248-2106. That's 561-248-2106. Give Larry a call and ask him questions, and he can definitely guide you in the right direction of what you need. So, Larry, I really want to thank you for being here on Cover Time Live. I had a great time with you, and we're going to help put this solar energy webpage together. Don't forget, we'll be back next Thursday right here on Cover Time Live. I'm Tom Platania, and have a great weekend.
You've been listening to Cover Time Live with Tom Platania.